Good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 8, and our group members include myself, Jennifer Montgomery, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Grace Lynn. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Nick Bonacier. I'm a junior.
I'm Uyang Pucha. I'm junior.
All of us are a part of a team of market analysts in the Krannert School of Management, and we've been hired to research and review Mr. Bates, the CEO of Big Sweeties' dilemma on whether or not to join the chocolate industry. Mr. Bates would like to either expand his company, Big Sweetie, and start a new line of chocolate, or invest in an already existing chocolate company. Here are the questions that he had about the chocolate industry and the things that we needed to research and the answers that we came up with. So first he wanted to know about the distribution within the chocolate industry. So basically he wants to know the cost of shipping compared to the cost of the product and distribution in general within the market. And then he also wanted to know about market and if it has adequate demand, who the target customers are, and what are some of the key trends within the industry. And he also finally wanted to know about other major chocolate companies and if they're profitable, including big ones and small ones. Our first company is the Hershey Company, and it has 30.1% of the market share. It's actually the largest manufacturer in the U.S. In 2013, it generated $7.1 billion in total revenue. It has had consistent revenue growth, and it's expected to increase an annualized 7.5% to $4.9 billion in the next 5 years to 2014, which is this year. They've had a lot of growth due to acquisition, which means they basically have been taking over other food and chocolate companies, and one example is Brookside. They've also taken advantage of their advertisement, and they do a really good job with that. And then another thing that they do really well is expanding of their already existing products. Our second company is Mars Incorporated. They're also a major player within the chocolate industry, and they have a market share of 24.6%. They are expected to earn $33 billion in company revenue in 2013, and they're actually the largest user of certified cocoa in the world. They have had a lot of revenue growth over the past 5 years. This is a lot to do with their organic growing and their marketing and product development. Within these three things that they've done well to have revenue growth, one thing especially is that they've changed their ingredients to have less saturated fat and sodium, which has become really popular in recent years with consumers because they want to have healthier choices. And they've also introduced a lot of new products and lines within their chocolate company. And our third major player within the chocolate industry is Nestle. They have a market share of 9.1%, and in 2013 they generated $99.4 billion in total revenue. Nestle has a lot of different segments where they sell actually drinks, syrups, foods, and their chocolate is actually in their confectionery segment, and it accounts for 11.2% of total sales. Within the past 5 years, chocolate sales have risen for Nestle, and their revenue is expected to decline an annualized 1% to $1.5 billion over the 5 years to 2014. And this, in general, is due to a change of accounting policies in 2011 that we won't get into.
For the summary of product distribution, first, for the demand part, the consumers' demand for white chocolate in the United States is higher because statistics shows that they believe it's healthier and tastes better. It is more complicated to make and contains less caffeine as well. Second, for the target, adults eat more chocolate and men like bars. Women prefer smaller formats of chocolate. And the third one, key trends of the customers. People prefer milk chocolate because they will taste something sweet. And for the third one, other companies, there's a Hershey is the largest and most profitable company in the chocolate industry, and there is one smaller company named Green Mountain Chocolate, which is a local small chocolate manufacturer founded in 1988 in Waterbury, and nowadays it's very stable and beneficial in chocolate era.
Here are some key statistics for the chocolate industry. In 2014, the revenue was about $16.2 billion. The annual growth for the last 5 years was 1.5% increase. For the next 5 years, the increase in demand will be 0.8%. The profit currently is $2.1 billion. Exports add up to $1.8 billion of the total income, and there are about 1,108 total companies within the industry. In this slide, we provide evidence of demand. On the graph to the left, we show revenue versus employment growth. Both revenue and employment are both aligned with another and show evidence that the industry is going steady. On the graph to the right, we show demand from confectionery wholesaling and the percent change. Over the last 10 years, it's been pretty unsteady, but now we are getting into a steady rate and provides evidence that the industry is going well. In this slide, we show the industry segmentation in the products and services in 2014. 45.2% of the chocolate industry is composed of chocolate bars. 29.8% is composed of block chocolate, 15% is composed of boxed chocolates, and 10% is other chocolate-based confectionery.
Another evidence of demand is the price of sugar growth in the past 5 years. According to IBISWorld, the price of sugar grew 44.3% in 2010, while the world price of cocoa increased 17.9% the same year, forcing chocolate producers to raise their product prices. Despite the price of chocolate growing dramatically, consumers continue to purchase chocolate, letting the operators benefit from the rising margins. Some trends that go on are the new product introductions that revamp consumers' demand and renewed interest in the chocolate industry in both domestic and international markets. Looking into the next 5 years in the chocolate industry, it is predicted that more consumers are expected to trade up to premium chocolate brands such as Lindt chocolate, which will further raise industry revenue, according to IBISWorld. Additionally, as more Americans become health-conscious, demand for sugar-free dark chocolate brands will further raise the industry performance. The revenue is projected to increase as well in the next 5 years to 2019.
After our extensive research, we have come to a conclusion for Mr. Bates. We spent much time obtaining all the possible factors regarding the chocolate industry and came up with a proper solution to heal his hesitancy whether to join or not join the chocolate industry. With all our evidence and statistics, we are advising Mr. Bates to join the chocolate industry. Seeing that the chocolate industry has continuously been growing over the last years, it is smart for Mr. Bates to assume that it will continue to grow in the same way. Using proper advertisement and product development, any startup company that would like to enter the chocolate industry has a strong chance of succeeding. As local and global demand for chocolate is high, along with the fact that even non-major companies are successful within the industry, and the industry is expected to grow 1% over the next 5 years, our group of advisors have come to a conclusion that Mr. Bates should join the chocolate industry as soon as possible in order to receive the most profit possible.